Kingdom of Creativity. This is chapter 3, third chapter in part 1 that asks the question, why kingdom? And this chapter refers to this question, but saying that creativity, it is the place where I obey only my inner voice and not any other voice. Like a king, like a queen. My voice. My voice is the one who determines my creativity, my initiative, the risks I'm taking, my route of creativity, the choices in which I take during my creation process, etc. I obey. Wait a second. Obedience. Let's focus on this word, and maybe in a little surprising way, I would like to show you how obedience can be a positive term related to freedom of creativity. Obedience. Actually, obedience, when it is in its right place, is the center of human freedom. Because creativity is the output of my inner voice. My unique, my very special, one-time, unique voice. When I create in a proper way, which means when I am loyal to my own flow, I do it through obedience to my voice. I obey to my voice. And this requires courage. This is true freedom. When I'm able to get in touch with my voice, my own voice, when I'm able to filter the noises that are coming from many people, from influences, pressures, inner pressure, outer pressure, inner criticism, outer criticism, norms, expectations, many noises. All these things disturb me from hearing clearly my own voice. If I am able to listen to my voice and say, I obey only to you, I trust you, I trust my own voice, I have enough self-love and enough courage to follow my inner voice and let my inner voice be the manager of my creation, of my choices. In fact, we can say that creativity is the, let's say, direct output of intuition advices. Whenever we follow intuition and do things that are recommended by our intuition, we will be creative. Always. Intuition is always about making something new. Intuition is always about going to uncertainties. Intuition is always about some kind of adventure. It is always about creativity. Intuition doesn't put us in the same plane, in the same place. It always takes us always takes us to a new place. Unfamiliar, unknown. Moving from the known place to the unknown place is creativity. The major mistake in addressing creativity is in overthinking about the result and not about the experience, the inner change that we go through while we are in the creative mode. The creative mode is changing, shifting, and while doing so, you find new routes of expression, new ways of freedom in your expression, in your originality, in your uniqueness. This is the main thing about creativity. Changing, until you find freedom from all the expectations and the norms and the pressures and what will they say. You need to make many steps of changes until you are free. And who will guide you to these changes? Your intuition. Can you trust your intuition? Can you follow intuition, or will you go through the safer route, safer path, and not do something new because it sounds too risky to do something new? So if you want the creative outlet, in fact, in your kingdom, you say, I am listening only to my voice. I am obeying my voice. Because this is the way we work with intuition. We cannot reason with intuition. Intuition will always push us to a place where logic cannot explain. We don't get from intuition all the information prior to the action that it recommends us to do. No. This is not the deal with intuition. Intuition says, this is the way, now you go there and you will find there. But I cannot give you all the information now. You need to take a risk. You need to jump. You need to jump. This is the rule. So, you may obey it, or you may decide, no, I'm not ready to jump. I'm not ready to take risks. In fact, I'm not ready to be creative. So, creativity, with all its freedom, is in fact about obedience, but obedience of the good kind. Healthy obedience, high obedience. I obey my inner voice. I am training myself to be tuned better to my inner voice. I train myself to obey my inner voice, even if this voice is telling me to do something that most of my friends do not do. Even if this inner voice is asking me to do something that I have never done, do I have the courage to obey my inner voice? This is what is so special about the kingdom of creativity. It is a kingdom. And the queen and the king, they are in a very, very special place where they say, I do not obey anything but my voice. I am the king. I am the queen. And here is what I'm saying. Each individual can create their creativity kingdom and decide to get better and better and better in following, obeying their inner voice, therefore becoming more creative.